Hey, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful virtual day of being at home. What I'm going to do today is I just decided to make a quick little video for you guys to watch at your leisure, which is going to go through just a few things um, about the necessary and proper clause. Okay, so that's mostly what we're talking about today. So I'm going to start right off. Okay, we're looking at congressional power, right? And we know that there are three types of powers, right, in the Constitution. Gone over this quite a bit. Three types of power: expressed, those explicitly stated in the Constitution, um, like that. You can create a navy, okay, and build and maintain a navy, and do post offices and all that kind of stuff. There's implied powers, those that can be reasonably deduced from the Constitution, and then the inherent powers. We're still talking about implied powers, okay. We know that there are strict constructionists, okay, or at least were strict constructionists, right? Most people are liberal constructionists now, but they were in favor of only those powers absolutely necessary to carry out the expressed powers. The government is best, which governs least, right? Then, of course, there are liberal constructionists like Alexander Hamilton, and he favored a much more powerful central government, which is what we have today. Okay. We know that Congress has the power to tax. We know that there are limits to the taxing power. We know that Congress has the power to borrow money. We know that Congress has the commerce power, which can control a lot of different uh, businesses and things like that, or how we conduct business in the United States. We know that there are limits to the Congress power, right? The commerce power, okay, and we know that they have the currency power, right? Basically, that's because um, we don't want every state to have control over its own currency, right? Okay, so this is stuff that we might not have gotten to. Your class might have got to this, but so if you've got your notes packet with you right now, you can go ahead and fill these out. If you left it at school or something, um, make sure you get this in there later. Okay. All right. So the bankruptcy power. The bankruptcy power. A person is bankrupt basically if they're unable to pay debts in full. So if you have a lot of credit card debt, if you have a lot of student loans, car payment, mortgage, whatever, okay, and you are just like maybe you lost your job or something like that, and you just can't pay it anymore, you can declare bankruptcy. And basically, Congress or the federal government handles that because just to make it consistent across all states. Okay, so it's a good thing to declare bankruptcy because that means people are going to help you. Lawyers and stuff are going to help you get out of debt um, any way that they can. It might be by selling off, your house or selling off your car or whatever, but it's going to get you free of debt. So that's a good thing. Okay. Congress also has the foreign relations power. Okay. The foreign relations power does not basically, we know that states can't take part in foreign relations, right? Texas can't, I don't know, come to a deal with Mexico about the border, right? They can't do it. The United States can, and Texas can ask the United States to help them, but Texas can't take matters into their own hands, right? Alaska can't make a deal with Canada, being like, "Hey, we don't have to. I don't know, we can open the border or whatever it might be." Okay, states don't do that. Okay, Congress has a lot of power to dictate commerce with foreign nations. We know that from the commerce power. Um, and Congress also has powers to pursue or stop foreign relations because of national security threats. Um, so things like how our relationships with China and Russia as they continue to hopefully improve, right, over the next few years, Congress will have a lot of say in that. Okay. Congress also has what we call the war powers. Okay, the war powers. Um, so we know that 8 of the expressed powers given to Congress deal with war and national defense. Now, of course, that power is shared with the president as they are the commander in chief, right? So um, if the president wants to declare war, he has to ask Congress to declare war, to formally declare war. Now, we have not declared war since World War II. Okay, we've not declared war since World War II. The commander in chief, or the president started kind of abusing their power as commander in chief. And this got us locked into both Korea and Vietnam. We never had real formal declarations of war. So that's a problem, right? And so Congress passed the War Powers Resolution of 1973, which severely limited the president's power to just use the military whenever they wanted. We'll watch this video probably when we get back, just because I hate watching YouTube videos over Zoom. So anyway, the War Powers Resolution to kind of further limit the president's power was passed. Okay. And then, of course, we have the necessary and proper clause. Okay. And here it is, right? This is exactly what it says in the Constitution: to make laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department of office thereof. So basically, people have used this in a very broad way, okay, to do things necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers. Okay, we're going to explore this more when we get back. And there is a video I want you to watch in classroom about that. So we're going to explore that much more when you get back. But basically, it makes Congress super, super adaptable and powerful. They can do a lot of things, and we've used it as it's become known as the elastic clause because we've used it so often to stretch the Constitution to things that a lot of people think it should not be able to do. And you can pass a lot of things with this clause in mind. So that can cause problems, and it can also be a good thing, right? I mean, we need to have a federal government that is powerful enough to do things that are necessary, right? We need to have a minimum wage, right? Because otherwise businesses would take advantage of workers. Okay. So let's see, where do I want to stop? Oh, I just want to stop here. Okay. With implied powers. Okay. Implied powers, right? So we're going to lay and collect taxes. Okay. We know that they can lay and collect taxes. That means, okay, so these are laws that are in the Constitution, right? Regulate commerce, raise armies, establish naturalization laws, lay and collect taxes, right? So below are implied powers that come along with that, right? Well, if Congress can lay and collect taxes, right, that means that they can punish tax evaders, right? If Congress can establish naturalization laws, that means they can also regulate and limit immigration. If Congress can raise armies, that means it can draft people into the military. And if Congress can regulate commerce, that means they can also establish a minimum wage. Okay. Now, none of these punish tax evaders, regulate and limit immigration, draft people into the military, establish a minimum wage. None of those are in the Constitution, but those are implied powers that come along with it. Okay. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy this time that you get. Kind of a relaxing week here. And if you ever need to rewatch this on necessary and proper clause or the implied powers, certainly go back and watch it. And I will see you next time. Let's see if I can stop sharing and